I strongly believe in the idea of Christians owning property. The world is better off with Christians in positions of financial strength, and cash flowing property can do just that. My friend Steve has built a substantial real estate portfolio here in New Hampshire, and now he's teaching Christian brothers to do the same. Go to consultingbycurios.com. He's got options where he coaches you through buying your first rental property or done for you options for busy people. Again, visit consultingbycurios.com. The link is in the description. All right. Maybe just a couple more. Okay. Yeah, I said I wouldn't do any more of these, but just a couple more, and just for fun, just to get the juices flowing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to get the blood flowing before you go all in. I did some deadlifts today, and I definitely recommend warming up if you're going to do the deadlifts. Get your blood flowing, get your muscles working before you start to pull the really heavy stuff. You know what I mean? I'm a little worried though, because I did see the article. I did see the P. Andrew Sandlin article that makes me feel like now that I've done my deadlifts, maybe I need to go to confession. I don't know. Do you think I should go to confession? I don't know. That's Roman Catholic anyway. Who cares? Anyway, yeah. Let's do a couple more, and then I'll tell you what I think some of these freakouts are all about. Let's just do it.
I think that the Trump supporters are getting an inkling of the ramifications and scope of their misbegotten vote.
This woman definitely has a PhD. This lady, maybe she doesn't have a PhD, but she's got a master's degree in something. She's putting forward this sort of, I'm thoughtful, I'm talking very decisively, using, some impressive word choices. She definitely has a master's degree. There's no question about it. And if you look statistically, a lot of these Kamala Harris people are very educated, and she wants you to know it. So let's see what that master's degree got her in terms of wisdom.
Do people still like being around you?
Yes, they do.
Are you still friends with people?
Yeah, I do.
Does your family want to see you at Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to my dad's house. It's going to be great.
Has your paycheck gotten any better?
I mean, no.
Did you invest in stocks that went through the roof and then came crashing down again?
I don't know. I think, my stock portfolio is a little weird. And I'm a little bit of a contrarian in when it comes to stocks and stuff like that. So I'll just be, very candid with you that my stock portfolio, it did go down a little bit actually after Trump's election. But actually that's a really good indicator for the for the economy and the stock market. You know what I mean? I've got some bets placed that are not like if they do well, it means that like the economy is in the dollar's in trouble and stuff like that. And I still, I've got a mix, yeah. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, but my personal stock portfolio, it hasn't done as good as it did before the election. Before the election, I was making money hand over fist, and so it was great, and that's because people were stressed out. They had no hope for the economy. So I'm one of these weirdos that has a portfolio that if it's doing well, that means like there's fires burning all around. So anyway, it's always a weird thing. Like I hope my portfolio doesn't do that great. Because if it does do really well, that means that all hell has broken loose. But I don't know. What is she actually trying to drive at here? Like my paycheck was it supposed to go up instantly as soon as Trump got elected? I don't know. But there's a lot of good signs. I will say this. I mean, I have because of what I do for a living, I own my own recruiting company. I have an opportunity to talk to CEOs and leadership teams of companies, usually mid-sized companies, stuff like that. I haven't heard this much optimism on my phone calls in probably 4 years, I would say. Just about maybe 5 years. I'd say like probably the last year of Trump, there was a lot of negativity, and it's been a lot of negativity for 5 years. And obviously, it's not across the board. You can find pockets of industries and stuff that are very positive and have a lot of things going on, but I haven't heard this much optimism, this much enthusiasm about the future of their companies in a long, long time, probably 5 years. So I am thrilled, of course. And that's another thing about my portfolio. I set it up so that if it doesn't do as well as it could, that means that all hell hasn't broken loose. And from an income perspective, I know I'm going to be doing okay. So it's kind of like happiness insurance, the way I've set up my. I don't have to be stressed out either way. Like if it's hard to find clients because the economy is not doing well, at least my portfolio is okay. You know what I mean? What does she expect? Like Trump gets elected, he's not even inaugurated yet, and was I supposed to get like a 30% raise in the paycheck? Like what is she actually saying here? She definitely has a master's degree.
Do you have stocks?
Yes.
Food prices gone down? Nobody's scared? Nobody's afraid?
Actually, I will say that I got a beef tenderloin today on sale, and it looks good, and it was a great price. Oh man. So at least I got some beef on sale. That's good. That's good. But like, what does she expect? Like, you vote for Trump. He's not even inaugurated yet, and the food prices were instantly going to go down. That's what we thought. I just spilled water. I got to learn how to drink. Spilled water on myself.
Everything's just hunky-dory?
Yeah.
Is everything better with you now?
I mean, things are good. Things are good, lady. I don't. What was that? Let's look at this one. This looks like a trans.
Hey, MAGA. I was just taking some trash out, and I
Definitely
thought I found a
trans.
flying fuck to give for you. About you losing friends and family members this past week due to your cult activity.
I didn't lose any.
But it turns out it was just a plain old fuck you. Hey, MAGA.
I don't know. The politics of joy, I guess.
He knew they had him. That's why.
I don't care about Russia. Ooh, this one looks like it could be juicy. Let's find out.
We will defeat the Trumpers and the Republicans and Project 2025 because you know what we have that they don't? Unity. All they care about is themselves. And as soon as one of their friends or allies says anything bad about them, they immediately cut them off. Just see how many times Trump frickin' fired people and other things just because they disagreed with his moron ass. Don't worry, everybody.
Actually,
defeat the white
you should definitely worry because it certainly seems to me that Trump has learned some lessons over the past, 8 years or so. You know what I mean? You should definitely despair. And let me tell you why you should despair. The reason why you should despair is that the people he's appointing now, it certainly seems to me that he's valuing loyalty above a lot of things. Now, you might disagree with that strategy, but it's without question the appointments that he's making are people that have been loyal to him, at least to some degree. And so it's not going to go like the first. It's not going to go like the first term. It's going to be people that are fiercely loyal to him and that he can count on to execute his agenda. That is who he's putting in place now, and they're going to ramrod him in there. They're going to do the recess appointments, and I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I'm supportive of it. And so you should definitely despair. And here's another reason why you should despair, because the people he's appointing, if you notice, in general, there are a lot of young guys. a lot of young guys, people in their 30s and maybe or early 40s and stuff like that. So it's not going to be just, 4 years of Trump and then, he's out and then you're free of all of the despair. No. We're setting things up for the long haul. There's going to be decades and decades of despairing in your future. And so you should be worried, very worried. You're not going to win. You're not going to get it back. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Things are happening right now, the likes of which you couldn't possibly understand. You should be very concerned about Christian nationalism. Very, very concerned. The guy who's going to be the new Secretary of Defense, he's a Reformed Christian, and he listens to Christian nationalist podcasts. And he has his children in Christian classical schools and things like that. If I were you, I would be very worried. I would be despairing right now. Because it's not enough to have a couple years of despair for my enemies. That's not enough. You need to have a plan for multi-generational despair for your enemies. That's what you got to set yourself up for. And it certainly seems to me like that's kind of the way it's starting to look. The pawns are starting to develop on the chessboard if you play chess in a way that should very much concern you. This is a multi-generational despair dispensary that we're trying to set up here. And so, if I were you, I would worry.
Man. White, this straight man. I'm a white man, but I'm gay. Not afraid of it. Come at me, bruh.
All right, maybe one more.
Kamala Harris didn't have to run her campaign better.
Yes, she did.
There's nothing more that she could have done. What we are experiencing is white supremacy doing its thing. The moment it was speculated that she was taking over the campaign for Biden, she earned my vote. I didn't have to hear anything else from her. I just saw that she was running against Trump, and that sealed the deal for me. She ran.
The problem is that there's a lot of people on the planet that aren't like you. That's the problem for you. Like, she couldn't have done anything differently, and what she did was she ran against Trump, and she earned your vote. Well, that doesn't earn everyone's vote. And so there's a lot of things she could have done differently, and she probably should have if she actually wanted to win.
Flawless campaign.
Flawless.
She raised $1 billion in the 3 months that she was campaigning. I don't think anybody else would have seen that magnitude of donations and support in 3 months. If she were a white man, she would have won.
Well, I'm glad I ended there, and I wasn't sure. I didn't know that I'd find one like that, but I assumed I would. But that's actually what I want to talk about today. What are these freakouts? Because these people are calming down, right? These last few that we've seen, these people are calm, right? They're still in their delusion, of course, and they're still having a mental break and stuff like that. But they've reached the point where they're not angry and freaking out and cursing as much. They're just more like calm about it, but they're still obviously completely in their delusion. But I someone was saying that I forget who this was that was saying this, but it's not right to make fun of these people as they're freaking out and stuff like that. They're having mental breakdowns, and it's not nice to do that. Christians shouldn't be doing that. And obviously, I don't agree. And I think I could defend that biblically, and I have many times on the channel. But what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd offer an alternative take here. I don't think they're actually, many of them anyway, some of them probably are. I don't think they're having mental breakdowns. I really don't think that. I think they're just throwing tantrums is what I think. They're really angry. They're really upset. And they have the mental capacity of children. And if you've ever seen a child throw an irrational tantrum, we've all seen it. They look very similar. You know what I mean? They look very similar. And when we're adults, we see a little kid throw a tantrum, and it's kind of like cute, sort of in a way. It's really not cute, but it's sort of cute because they're so little, right? And they're just freaking like that. And they're so little that they can't do any damage, that kind of thing. You've got to train your kids to not do that. That's a non-starter for a parent. You must put a stop to tantrums. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, they grow up to be one of these people. But that's what's happening. They're not having a mental breakdown. They're just throwing a tantrum. It's a classic toddler-style tantrum, except they're adults that are doing it. And so I think that the only proper response to that is to laugh at them and to mock them into oblivion. That's what I think. And the reason they're throwing the tantrum, maybe some of them are demon-possessed, something like that. But ultimately, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Like, you can be demon-possessed and be throwing it, and the demon throws you into fits, right? The demon throws you into a tantrum. Like, these are not mutually exclusive. But, you got to ask yourself, well, why are they throwing this kind of a tantrum, right? And you don't remember these kinds of tantrums before. And maybe social media has something to do with it. You get a little bit of clout for throwing a tantrum online. And you get some attention, which, a lot of these people are attention whores, essentially. They'll do anything for attention. That's all part of it. It all plays a part. But I do think, though, that one of the reasons why they're so angry and the tantrums are so irrational is because they've lost something really, really powerful. They really have. The second Trump election has sealed the deal. They know they've lost something that they used to have that is not effective anymore. And I think it's these magic words, right? Racist, white supremacist. Even she used it in this last one. Misogynist, rapist. They just throw these terms around, and some of these terms have real meaning. Some of them are just completely made up. But they used to be able to say that and they could get their way. You know what I mean? They could get their way just by saying that kind of stuff. And I think one of their biggest marks, it was so easy to use against this particular group, was evangelicals, was Christians. You know what I mean? Like, you see a Christian, Christians are good people, right? And they're very sympathetic people. They're very they're in tune with their emotions. They're in tune with the spiritual realities of situations. People they want to help. You see a Christian sees someone crying or in pain or emotionally distraught or something like that. The tendency is that we want to help them, right? That's what Christians do. They're very helpful people. They're very charitable people. That is the reality of Christians, right? And so that's a very good thing. It's a very good thing for Christians to be charitable and helpful and sympathetic and all of these things. This is all very good. But it can be a tool to manipulate Christians, and it's worked really well in the past. You know what I mean? Christians, they don't like it when people are abused because of their skin color or something like that. They don't like that. Christians want to fix that. They want to help that. They understand some of the spiritual issues at play and some of the things, the carnality of the situation. Like, they want to help. And so many Christians have been manipulated into seeing a black guy get shot by a police and saying, well, we must do something. We must do something without really even asking or knowing anything about the situation. Sometimes black guys, they got shot by police for a good reason. You know what I mean? And that's worked so often in the past. You throw these terms out: rapist, misogynist, abuser, white supremacist. These were magic words that they could use at any moment. They could drop them at any moment. And they could manipulate a good percentage of Christians to do whatever they wanted. And that's a powerful tool. They had these magic words that it certainly seemed like they could manipulate anybody. Just throw the word out, and that was it. And that's all you needed to do. You didn't need to demonstrate anything. You didn't need to logically, rationally argue for something. You just had to say it. And many Christians would be fooled by it. But those magic words have been losing their power over time. It's like as if you had a wand, a magic wand that only had 10 charges in it, and then each charge past 10, it might still work a little bit. You could do your spell, but it didn't work as well as it used to, and it kept dwindling. It kept dwindling, and they have this wand, and they're like, man, there's no way that this is my magic wand. It's always gonna work. And then one day they used the magic wand and it just kind of fizzled, and it didn't do anything. And it didn't do anything. And they were shocked by that. And so this last election, I mean, they pulled out every magic word they've ever had in their lives, you know, and they've used them all. They've used them all. You know what I mean? You used to be able to call someone a Nazi and they would literally bow to you. Oh, whatever. Sure. I'm sorry. You know, but nowadays it doesn't work as well. So what they did was they deployed every magic word that they had, every single one they put into the person of Trump. And so they said, well, you know, okay, they're not working as well as they used to. Let's just use them all at once. You know what I mean? If we use them all at once on one person, one election, it has to work. You know what I mean? Everything in the spell book, they whipped out the spell book, they took it all out, and they just chucked it at Trump again and again and again and again. And they expected, look, okay, my spells aren't as powerful as they used to be, but if we use them all together, it's got to do something, right? And they tried. Oh, they did try. And it didn't work. It didn't work. Every magic word, every spell they've ever known, everything that used to work so well, they tried it all at once in a way where it's like, oh, we're going to bury them in magic words. Something's got to work. And not only did it not work, it didn't work in an epic failure. An epic failure. So much so that we're laughing at their faces as these magic words that used to be able to bend us into their will, we're just laughing at them. And so that's what these tantrums are about. If you notice, many of these tantrums, they're still using the words. They're still like, oh yeah, rapist, misogynist, rapist, white supremacist, racist, they're going in. It's going in. That's what these tantrums are about. They're realizing that their spells don't have power anymore. Their magic words are useless. And they're realizing that they don't really have anything else. Like, that's what they had. That was their power. That was their argument. These magic words that was it. That's all they had. And it's gone. And they're frustrated. And they're scared. And they don't know what to do because they have never had to do anything else. They used to just deploy these words, and that was all they had, and it worked. And they don't have power anymore. And that's got to be extremely frustrating. And that's why I think these freakouts are happening. These are tantrums where their cookie got taken away, and they don't have anything. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to live. It's the end of the world. That's the thing about toddlers. You know, when something doesn't go their way, as far as they're concerned in that moment, that's the end of the world. They have nothing else. That's all. They're freaking out because they don't know what to do now. That's what's happening here with these tantrums that they're putting on TikTok. The magic words have no more authority. They have no more power. And that is a very good thing. That is a gift. And we should not waste that gift. We should not waste that gift. We should not let that gift go unused. I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.